Hey guys, Jonathan Soda here, back again doing another movie review, and today we'll be reviewing X-Men First Class. Now, X-Men First Class is directed by Matthew Vaughn and features James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence, Rose Byrne, Kevin Bacon, Nicholas Hoult, January Jones, Lucas Tin, Zoe Kravitz, Jason Fleming, and Caleb Landry Jones. So, the plot of X-Men First Class is that there are these group of people who have powers, which they call themselves mutants. So yeah, and we first follow with this one mutant named Eric. So yeah, and what happened to Eric was when he was a little kid. It was during the World War II times in the protests. So it was during the protests. So Eric's a Jew, and so it was during the protest, and then his mother got taken away from the Nazis, and so he was really upset about that, and so that made him first use his powers, which Eric's powers are to control metal. So yeah, and so that makes him first use his powers by opening the gate, opening the gate that had all the Nazis taking all the people. So yeah, so he was trying to open the gate to get she was just he didn't know he had powers. He was just really sad. He was just really mad inside. He was like, no, mother. And then out of nowhere, without him knowing, he started using his powers, and he opened the gate, and then from there the Nazi guards knocked him out. And then once he woke up in one of the Nazi homes, and there was this man. He was I think he was one of the leaders of the Nazis, but besides from Adolf Hitler, I think he was the Nazi leader, I think. So yeah, and so his name was Sebastian Shaw, and Sebastian Shaw, he noticed that he had powers and all of that, and so he wanted to test him for his powers and all of that, and have him probably do a military, be a military weapon or something like that. And then they even bring his mom out, telling them, please flip this coin. If you don't, we're gonna kill your mother. And his mother's just right next to him, and so he's trying to flip the coin, but he doesn't remember how he uses powers. And then he doesn't, and then he can't flip the coin at all. And so from there, Sebastian Shaw gets really pissed, and then he orders the Nazis to kill his mother, and then from there, that really gets Eric really pissed, and that makes him destroy the whole room with his powers, the whole room, with his powers and all of that, and he just destroys the whole other room right in front of him, and he's just yelling so much, and then from there, that's the last we see of Eric as a kid, and then when he grows up, he becomes this kind of evil dude. He still really hates people. He really hates people for killing his mother. So yeah, and so from there he's just been from there as an adult, he's trying to look for Sebastian Shaw, and he's trying to kill him. So yeah, and he's doing everything he could to do it. He's killing people with no powers to do it and all of that. So yeah, and yeah, so that's Eric right there, and then we follow with these other people. And one of them is what's his name, Charles Xavier, and Raven. I forgot Raven's last name, but yeah, it was him and Raven. And so Charles Xavier, what his power is that he has telepathy, and he can control people's doings. He can control what people say, he can control what people think, and he can even control what people see. So yeah, and he can sense people, he could see people from all over the world. So yeah, but by using a machine. So yeah, but his main power is mostly telepathy, just getting into people's heads. So yeah, and then Raven's power is that she's this all blue girl. She's all blue, and what she can do is she can morph into people. She can turn into people other people. So yeah, and is there anything else? Yeah, and then and then we follow with this other girl who is a CIA worker. She doesn't have any powers. Her name is Laurie McTaggart. So yeah, Laura McTaggart, actually. So yeah, she doesn't have any power. She's just a CIA agent. What is it? I think Charles is trying to do this too, and Laura McTaggart's trying to do it, but they're trying to figure out what what these people are doing. Like, it's these other people with mutant powers, and they want to take over the world, and they want to show everyone that we're mutants and all of that, and we will take control over the human race. So yeah. And I forgot to mention, this movie takes place in the 60s, so yeah, this movie takes place in the 60s, so yeah, and this whole thing is just to take place in the 60s, and there's even JFK in it too, so yeah. And then, like, yeah, so, like, Charles and Lauren McTaggart are trying to figure out what these people are trying to do, and Sebastian Shaw is the leader of those people, so, yeah. And then, let me think, and then, is there anything else? Yeah, and then, like, Charles and Raven are trying to, be good mutants, like, they're trying to, like, look for have people look up to them, but in a good way, so, yeah. And then, like, what else is there? And then, yeah, they're also trying to, like, make this team of their own called the X-Men. So yeah, like, they try to make this team of their own to stop Sebastian Shaw and his other mutant people. So yeah, they try to make a team of their own too. So yeah, and then but they're once they make the team of their own, they're I think Charles is planning on, like, wait, I don't think Charles plans this in this movie, but yeah, he's just trying to, like, form a team of their own, so, of good mutants. So yeah, and then, like, he even, like, ends up meeting Eric. Charles ends up meeting Eric when they were doing a little battle with Sebastian Shaw. Like, Eric was trying to, like, destroy Sebastian Shaw's ship, but it was too much for him. So yeah, and then, like, Charles ends up finding him, and then he has Eric join him with the helping the group with, like, the group and all of that. So yeah. And then, is there anything else? So yeah, and then Charles and Eric, like, slowly end up becoming friends. So yeah, I think that's basically the whole plot of X-Men First Class, is just them trying to stop Sebastian Shaw with what they're doing. What are they doing again? Yeah, I already explained what they were doing. Sorry. So yeah, that's just basically the whole plot of X-Men First Class. Now, do I like X-Men First Class? Yes, I love X-Men First Class. This one is actually my favorite X-Men movie with the X-Men title, actually. With the X-Men title in it from the X-Men movies, this one's my favorite. So, yeah. This is not my favorite out of all the movies, like, including the Wolverine movies, too. It's not my favorite out of all those movies, but yeah, but I have one that I find a little better than this one, and I'll get into that in future reviews. So yeah, and so before I get into my full thoughts about this, I just want to quickly say that my next series of reviews I'll be reviewing on this channel will be for the X-Men movie. So yeah, and the reason why is because I heard that I've been seeing a lot of ads that the New Mutants is gonna come out on August 28th this month. So yeah, and this year. So yeah, and the New Mutants better not get held up again. It better not get postponed again. So yeah, and then. So yeah, I just want to review all these X-Men movies before the New Mutants comes out. So yeah, let me think. Was there anything else I was gonna say? Oh yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing. But I'm doing it in I'm not doing it in the order with a lot of people love doing. Like, they love reviewing the very first X-Men movie that came out in the early 2000s. I'm reviewing it how I see the continuity of the X-Men movie. So yeah, this is how my mind I see the X-Men movies as this continuity. So yeah, that's how I'm reviewing it, just seeing it with my mind how I see these movies. And this, in my opinion, is actually the perfect way to watch all the X-Men movies. But you guys will know how I watch the X-Men movies when you see how I review the next ones. Like, yeah, the next review I'll do will be for X-Men Origins Wolverine, and then the original X-Men that came out in the early 2000s, and then from there just on. So yeah, I'll get more into that once I talk about later reviews. So yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna be doing with my channel. So yeah, and there is a lot of X-Men movies. So yeah. And just so you know, I will be including Deadpool as well. I know some people don't include Deadpool in their list too, but I will review both Deadpool movies with the X-Men movie. So yeah. So yeah, getting more. Now we're gonna talk about X-Men First Class. Yeah, I love X-Men First Class. This one is really dope. I love this one. It is really action packed. It's just really dope. And so yeah, it's just really awesome. So yeah, I love the direction this movie goes. And this was a perfect prequel to the X-Men movie. So yeah, this was a really good movie. So yeah, I first saw this movie back when it first came out. Actually, when I was 6 years old. This was actually the the first movie that my uncle Michael that he put on his movies anywhere thing. Yeah, this is his first movie he put on his movies anywhere. So yeah. So yeah, and I would whenever I was bored, I would mostly just go on his computer and look whatever movies were on his movies anywhere, and that was the only one. So I watched it. And so since then, I've loved this movie so much. So yeah. So X-Men First Class. We'll talk about the characters. The characters are amazing in this movie. So yeah, Charles Xavier. I love Charles Xavier. He's really cool in here. He's really cool with telepathy and all that. So yeah, and he's really nice too. Like he's a really nice person. So. Yeah, and I just love his kind of brother sister relationship with Raven. So yeah, they're not really brother and sister, but they were raised in the same orphanage. So yeah, but I love their relationship a lot in this movie. So yeah, and then I love his love relationship he makes with Laura McTaggart. So yeah, that was a really cute love relationship with him and Laura McTaggart. So just Charles really knew how to use his telepathy in this movie. So yeah, and I just love, like, you can really see he really wants to form this group of heroes. So yeah, and you can really see that he really wants to have mutants be good. Like he wants to like show the world that mutants are good. So yeah, you can just really tell he wants to do that. So yeah, and I love his friend relationship with Eric. So yeah, just they have so much. They make so much. What is that word? They make so much progress, I would say. So yeah, you really buy into their friend relationship a lot in this movie. So yeah, just Eric and Charles, they were just really cool friends. So yeah, yeah, I'll get more into that once I talk about Eric. So yeah, he was really cool, and I just love all the scenes where like he has the machine and he's trying to look for the people that he wants to like see and all of that. So yeah, and I just love all his action sequences. So yeah, all the scenes where he's in action are just really cool. Like there's this one scene where like they're like in a truck with like one of Sebastian Shaw's people, and then like they open the back of the truck, but Charles and all his people are there, but then Charles uses his telepathy to make them not see them, to just see like an empty back seat. So yeah, and that was a really cool scene. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else? Yeah, Charles was just really cool in this movie. So yeah. And then there's Eric. I really love Eric in this movie. I think Eric's actually my favorite character of this movie. So, yeah, he was really cool. He has the strongest character arc in this movie. He has the strongest emotion in this movie. He's what really makes this movie really good. So, yeah, Eric was just really cool in this movie. You can really tell that he hates humans. You can really tell that he hates people for killing his mom. So, yeah, you can just really tell he really wants to go to Sebastian Shaw and kill his ass. So, yeah, you can just really tell he's really evil with people. So, yeah, you can just really tell all he wants to do is just get Sebastian Shaw. So, yeah, Eric was just really cool. So, yeah, and his power to control metal was really cool. The way he does it in this movie is really cool. All his action sequences are amazing. So, yeah, like when we first see him as an adult, like with him when he killed all those people in that little restaurant thing, that little diner, I forgot what it was called, but it was like this little restaurant, and he kills all the people in there. So yeah, I think it was like they had a gun on them, and then they shot him, and then he stops it, and then he puts it back at them or something like that. But I forgot what that action sequence was, but that was still really cool. So yeah, let me think. What happened in there? Oh yeah, and in that scene, I think he crushes the gun too, and yeah, and I think he even says this speech too. I forgot what the speech was, but that scene was just really cool. So yeah, and I just love when he was trying to stop Sebastian Shaw, but then Charles kind of stops him. He's but then Charles is just I don't think Charles stops him. It's just too much for Eric, and then he falls off the boat, and then Charles finds him or something like that. So yeah. And let me think. What else was I saying? Yeah, just Charles when Eric meets someone called. So yeah. So as I was saying, Eric, you can really tell his character. So yeah, his friendship with Charles just really grows a lot in the movie. So yeah, and so once they meet each other, Eric kind of likes Charles not right away, but at first I think he's just okay, Charles, okay, but then after that he starts really liking him. So yeah, it doesn't take long for him to start really liking Charles. So yeah, and then it was just cool him assembling the team with Charles. So Yeah. And so, yeah, I think he had the strongest character development in this movie. So, yeah, and yeah, I love the scenes where like Charles like he helps the other people in the team like control their powers and all of that. So yeah, and he helps Eric control his powers too. Like have him use his powers more. Like have him learn like his full strength on his powers. So yeah, those scenes were really cool. So yeah, let me think. What else was I gonna say? Um, yeah, so yeah, and I love the scene where Raven like announces the people's nicknames, like all the people's like all the X-Men's like nicknames, like their superhero names. So yeah, she decides like her name should be Mystique, and then one of the other one being what was the other one being? The other one being Beast and all of that. So yeah, and then once Charles and Eric come home, they just say, Charles, your name should be Professor X, and Eric, your name should be Magneto. So yeah, that scene was really funny. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else about Eric I should say? Yeah, Eric's relationship with Sebastian Shaw was really cool too. And yeah, his like hate relationship with him. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else? Yeah, I just love how like Charles is always telling Eric like revenge isn't always the answer and all of that. So yeah, those scenes were really cool. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else I should say? Yeah, I really like Raven a lot in this movie. Raven was really cool too. Like, I really like how she can turn into people, and I love her relationship with Eric and Charles. So yeah, and then later on, she has this little, like, really little love relationship with Eric. So yeah, that was really cool too. So yeah, and I just love how nice she is. She's really sweet with all the X-Men. So yeah, and she's really good with fighting. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else I should say? About Raven. So yeah, just Raven was just really cool. And let me think. Is there anything else about Raven? Yeah, I just love how like Raven is just always on Charles' side. So yeah, and then I love her like she had like a really small like love relationship with Beast, but then it didn't work out and she chose Eric. So yeah, I really like that too. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else I should say about Raven? Let me think. I think that's all about Raven for now. But then we go to Laura McTaggart. She was a really cool character too. Like I love how like she's like finding out a lot about these mutants and all of that, and like she slowly ends up falling in love with Charles. So yeah, and I just love how like she is like an undercover CIA agent. So yeah, and then like yeah, I just love how like sometimes she's like in Sebastian Shaw's place. So yeah, she's just doing it undercover. So yeah, and I just love how like she's always like with the X-Men and all of that. No matter what dangerous things they're doing, she's always with them, and she's always like telling them like what Sebastian Shaw's gonna do and all of that. So yeah, I just love that so much, and she even has a little bit of emotion. She even has a little bit of emotion too. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else about Laura? Let me think. I think that's all about Laura McTaggart. And then there's Sebastian Shaw. He was a really cool villain. A lot of people say I think he's one of the more forgettable villains of X-Men, but I think he's a really underrated villain. He was actually really cool in this movie. Like you can really tell that like he was the first version of Magneto. So yeah, because he had his Magneto's mask and all of that. So yeah. But like he didn't have Eric's or Magneto's powers, so yeah, he can just like take power and like absorb it and use it against people. So yeah, that was a really cool power that Sebastian Shaw had. So yeah, and like you can just really tell he really wants to have Eric be as evil as him. So yeah, and that was a really cool thing. That was a really cool plan for Sebastian Shaw. So yeah, and I just love his whole plan with wanting to show the world like we're mutants. We will take full control over you. So yeah, I just love that a lot, and I love his whole other team too. Like he has this whole team of other people, and I love them a lot. I loved the Crystal Girl. I forgot her name. She was really cool, and I really loved the devil thing, Azazel. He was really cool too. He didn't have any character development at all. He was really silent. He was mostly just this thing that could teleport everywhere and punch people. So yeah, he can just teleport. Yeah, that's all he did, but he was still really cool. So yeah, Is there anything else? Yeah, I really like that. That other girl that was in the team with the wings. She was at first in the X-Men team, but then like Sebastian Shaw came in and he was like, and he told the X-Men like, we can do better than Charles could ever do and all of that. We can help you. We can help you with your mutant powers and all of that. And then the butterfly girl actually chooses to go with what's his name, Sebastian Shaw. So yeah, and that was really cool. So yeah, that was just really cool how she did that. So yeah, and then like she's always just like against all the X-Men throughout the whole movie. So yeah, and she had really cool power. So yeah, and then what was I gonna say? And then there was this other dude in the no, we're still talking about. Let's still talk about Sebastian Shaw before we go into the other X-Men. So yeah, Sebastian Shaw, like he was just really cool, and like he had, yeah, just like he was just really evil. You could really tell this dude is evil. So yeah, and he was just a perfect villain for a movie like this. So yeah, let me think. Let me think. I think that's all about Sebastian Shaw for now, and then we go to Beast. Beast was a really cool character. At first, Beast, he's this regular, not regular, but he's just this really charming looking man. Like he's this really charming man, but he thinks his appearance is not all that great. He had a really cool character development thing too. He was really cool, and like what his power was that he has like feet that have like seven that have like seven toes, and like they look like animal feet. So yeah, and like what he does is like he can stick on walls, and he can jump really high. So yeah, he can do like anything like a lion can do. So yeah, or yeah, he can just do anything like wildcats could do. So yeah, as like a human being. So yeah, that's his power, and he was really cool too. And I love like how he hates his appearance and all of that. He thinks his appearance is not all that great because of his feet and all of that. So yeah, and then Raven's always telling him like, don't be so worried about your appearance. Like I love you the way you are and all of that. Like you should be grateful for who you are and all of that. And I thought that was a really strong message to this movie. So yeah, I really love that a lot. And that actually does kind of relate to me a little bit. Like I sometimes like think I'm not the most good looking in all of them, but then I'm like, no, it matters on what I think of myself as. So yeah, I take a lot of like themes in movies to help me out with life, and that's another reason why I love movies a lot too. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else I should think about Beast? Oh yeah, but then by the end of the movie, like by the whole movie, Beast has been like developing a cure to help him look better. So yeah, but like he actually like he puts it on his feet, and it makes his feet look normal, and then after a second it just goes back to the way it was, and then that changes his full appearance and makes him into this blue hairy thing. So yeah, and that was just really chilling. So yeah, and that really tells you that you should be grateful for your appearance, or else there's worse things. There's worse things for you to look like. So yeah, that was just a really strong message to this movie. So yeah. Is there anything else about Beast? So yeah, just Beast was really nice. He was a really kind X-Men. So yeah, and his relationship with Charles was really cool, and his little love relationship with Raven was really cool. So yeah, I don't think I don't think Beast like had a crush on liked Raven back, but Raven really had a crush on Beast. So yeah, but that was really cool. So yeah, is there anything else about Beast I should say? Let me think. Yeah, just he was a really clever scientist too, and he was the one to like help Charles with like the scientific experiments he does all the time. So yeah, and that was really cool. So yeah, and he was the one to like make a plane for them, I think. So yeah, he was a really cool X-Men too. So yeah, and then we go to the Crystal Girl. I talked about her a little bit, but I just want to say one more thing about her. She has kind of the same powers as Charles does. She has telepathy. She can make people see things, but like she can like fight like with turning into a crystal, and that really hurts people. So yeah, and she was really cool too. So yeah, I just thought her acting was just a little like here and there. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? Oh yeah, I really like that laser dude a lot. The laser dude, I kind of like the laser dude has this suit which kind of looks like my shirt actually, but not Jurassic Park symbol, just has a circle on it, and that's what makes like makes him control his laser beams and all of that out of his body. So yeah, and he was a really cool character. So yeah, he was a teenager, I think. Yeah, he was a teenager, and like, and yeah, he was really cool. Was there anything about him? I don't think there was a lot with him, but he was still really cool. So yeah, and I really liked what was his the screaming dude. I forgot his name. He could scream, like he could like make really powerful screams, and that could make him fly. So yeah, like he had this suit that could make him control his screaming, and that could make him fly. So yeah, and he was really cool, and he had a really cool like little character thing in it where like he was like with the girl that he was crushing on, and then he asked her out to a date, and she's like, I'd rather go out with the fish, because like they're looking at a little aquarium, and then like he screams into the water, and then it makes all the fish disappear, and then he's like, what fish? Yeah, that scene was really funny. So yeah, I really liked him a lot, the screaming dude. Yeah, he was really, really cool. So yeah, let me think, is there anything else, any other characters I should talk about? I think that's all the characters in this movie. So yeah, all the characters are really awesome. So yeah, let me think. The setting to this movie was amazing, actually. I love the scenery to this movie. It was really cool. So yeah, you can really buy into the scenery. You can really buy that they're in this big house, that they're going to a lot of these places in the military. So yeah, and you can really buy it a lot. So yeah. Let me think. Yeah, all the actors did such an amazing job in this movie, except for January Jones, which I said her performance would get very mediocre at times. So yeah, other than that, all the actors in here did such an amazing job. So yeah, James McAvoy is amazing in this movie, like in all his other movies. So yeah, and Michael Fassbender was amazing in this movie. So yeah, Jennifer Lawrence, Rose Byrne, Kevin Bacon, Nicholas Hoult, they were all amazing. So yeah. Let me think. The soundtrack to this movie was amazing. I love the soundtrack to this movie. I think this is probably I think it's actually my favorite X-Men soundtrack, actually. It was really cool. So, yeah, a lot of these characters had their own themes. Charles had his own theme. Magneto had his own theme. His theme was amazing. So, yeah. And then he had his other song, too, which was really dark. And that song was really chilling. So, yeah, I love the soundtrack to this movie a lot. So, yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else? Yeah, this movie has a lot of comic relief in it, too. And it all works. So, yeah. Let me think. The pacing to this movie was really good. So yeah, but my one flaw with the pacing is that this movie is like 2 hours and 15 minutes long, and you do feel its runtime. So yeah, you do feel its runtime, but it's okay because it's all still really enjoyable. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else? Yeah, they more back to the setting. They really captured the 60s really well in this movie. So yeah. Let me think. Yeah, I think it's supposed to take place 40 years after the first X-Men movie. So, yeah, and that was a really clever thing, showing you a more younger version of Professor X. So, yeah, and that was really cool. So, yeah. Let me think. Yeah, I thought the casting to this movie was really, really good. I didn't think it was perfect like in the original X-Men movies, but it was still, I thought they captured the younger versions of the X-Men really good in here. I would almost say perfect, but I think how they made the actors in the original one were a little better, but I still really love their casting choices with making younger versions of the X-Men. So yeah, just James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender were really good reincarnations of younger Professor X and younger Magneto. So yeah, they were really cool. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else? Matthew Vaughn really had a heart with making this movie. Like, you can tell he really cared about making this movie. So, yeah, Matthew Vaughn, I've seen like 2 movies of him. One of them being Kick-Ass, and one of them being this, I forgot the other movie he made, but I know I've seen that movie. So, yeah, but yeah, Kick-Ass was a really good movie that he made, and he really did put a lot of like effort from Kick-Ass in here, but he did not put any like cursing or bloody action. So yeah, but he still had a lot of heart with making this movie. I think he had as much heart with making Kick-Ass as much as this. So yeah, also Kick-Ass was a really good movie he made. So yeah, but we're not talking about that right now. So yeah. But comment down below if you want to see me do a review of that, because I kind of want to do a review for that now. So, yeah. Let me think. Yeah, Matthew Vaughn, he was just really good. I think Matthew Vaughn's a really talented director. So, yeah. Just all the action sequences were done amazingly. The special effects were amazing. They all look really real. So, yeah, just all the special effects look so good. So, yeah, just the special effects were just amazing. Like, yeah. So, all the action sequences were just awesome. Like, they were really awesome to look at. So, yeah, let me think. This movie gets really suspenseful at times too, and it all works too. So yeah, like that scene where Sebastian Shaw and all his people go to the X-Men home, like the government the government place where the X-Men are staying in, and then all his people come in, and that scene was really suspenseful because like all of them like killing all the security guards, Azazel teleporting everywhere, the Crystal Girl just like punching the shit out of everyone. So yeah, and like. Sebastian Shaw just getting their bullets or like getting their explosives and just putting it back at them. So yeah, that scene was just really suspenseful and really awesome. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else I like about this movie? Let me talk about. I don't think I have any flaws with this movie besides January Jones, and I think that's the only flaw I have with this movie. So yeah, just January Jones. So yeah, but she's just a little nitpick I have with it. So yeah, is there any other scene I like? Yeah, I really like that scene with Raven showing her full appearance. So yeah, and I love the end battle a lot. The end battle was amazing. So yeah, and I love that. Before I get into that, I just want to say I love the scene with the boat too when they first met Eric. That scene was really awesome too. So yeah. Let me think. I love the end battle so much. That's what really made this movie so good. So, yeah, just the end battle was just really cool. So, yeah, I'm not going to get into any spoilers. This will be a full-on spoiler-free review. So, yeah. But, yeah, just the end battle was just amazing in this movie. So, yeah. What else was I thinking? What else was I saying? Oh yeah, just the end battle. Yeah, just like with them fighting Sebastian Shaw and all his people was just really cool. So yeah, and Azazel teleporting into to wherever they go was really cool. And then like the Crystal Girl just like I don't think the Crystal Girl. Yeah, I think she was I don't think she was a part of the end battle. Was she? I don't think she was. But I really like when like the flying girl, the butterfly girl was like fighting all the X-Men. So yeah, and then I loved how when Eric and Sebastian Shaw like met with each other, and that fight with them was just really cool. Wait, did they have? Yeah, they had a fight. They had like a really cool fight with like their emotion and all of that, and like with their power. So yeah, that was a really cool fight between them. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else I should say? Oh yeah, and then he uses the coin trick. So he uses the coin trick from when he was a kid. So yeah, but I'm not gonna get into that anymore. So yeah, because then I'll be spoiling that whole scene. So yeah, but that scene was just really cool. And then that scene is what really makes the first X-Men go right after this one. So yeah, just the end battle is what really makes the first X-Men go after this one. So yeah, and then yeah, it's just what makes that scene was just really cool. So yeah, what else was I saying? Is there anything else about the end battle? Yeah, it's just the action sequences in that scene were just really cool. So yeah, and then like what else was I saying? Yeah, and then like Charles even uses his telepathy to see what Eric's doing, and like he can kind of like tell what he's doing. But like the Magneto helmet is what makes him block Charles's telepathy. So yeah, that was really cool. So yeah. And, like, he had a lot of trouble seeing what was going on in there and what the people were feeling, which people were feeling which. So, yeah, and that was a really cool thing, too. So, yeah. And is there anything else I should say? I think that's all I talk about the movie. But the movie was just really cool. So, yeah. To rate this movie, I'll definitely rate it an A+. Yeah, just perfect prequel for the X-Men movie. So, yeah. Bye, and see you all in the next review.